What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It is a beautiful 60 degrees and sunny here on the Jersey Shore. I should be getting my Pauly walnuts on outside, just reflecting a little menu to my face to try to get a little color into this face. But here I am looking at cell phones and laptops and everything else. Just Jason, a very, very busy day of MLS news. After 12 hours yesterday of snorting pure, uncut MLS action yesterday, we're right back to off the field stories. It's been pretty explosive today, to be fair. We've got news on a Portland DP potentially for $15 million. News on definitely a new Charlotte DP. FC Cincinnati acquiring DeAndre Yedlin, and some more nuggets here on Carlos Vela, and anything else that I'm kind of digging up between the couch cushions. Let's get into it. Let's start with the first piece of news of the day. Charlotte FC are finalizing a deal to sign Israeli international winger Liel Abada from Celtic. The deal would be a young DP deal. It's the first real significant attacking signing for this team under Dean Smith, the first to replace kind of Kamil Jóźwiak and Karol Swiderski. The team has looked very good, honestly, over their first two games, picking up 4 points, and now they're getting kind of a big quality addition to that attack. He's 22 years old, so he can only be a young DP, I believe, for this year, maybe next year, but at least only this year, so they might have to figure some things out moving forward. But the fee is somewhere between like 6 and 10 million. I don't have clarity on that yet. It was reported in England at like 8 million pounds. Again, I don't have that confirmed, but something in that range is what I've been hearing for the last week or so on this potential deal. Charlotte's been working on this. Abada fell out of favor a lot of bit at Celtic, and now he's coming to MLS. It's a player that the scouting department and the front office were well aware of in Israel before he went to Celtic. He performed very well at Celtic the past 2 years before this year when he's kind of been frozen out. From what I've been told on the scouting report, he's a direct winger with conviction in the final third. That's just what Charlotte needs. That and, more attacking quality to go around Enzo Copetti and Kerwin Vargas. He can still be a threat at the back post when the play is going on the opposite side. I'm expecting him to play down the right flank, but who knows? We'll see. He's been able to play a couple different positions, but I think primarily as a right winger. He had great goal contributions per 90 minutes ratio in Scotland. It was 10 goals and 5 assists in 1,500 minutes last year. It was 10 goals and 6 assists in 2,200 minutes the year before. Look, the Scottish League, outside of the top 2 or 3 teams, can be pretty weak, but this was also a 20 and then a 21-year-old Israeli kid adapting to a new league, far away from home, everything else. Like the fact that he was putting up goal contributions at that rate with, kind of inconsistent minutes, I think is very impressive, and it goes to show the quality that he has. I think he has 10 caps for Israel. And just some more housekeeping. Charlotte can still add a senior DP after this, plus they have one more U22 initiative slot. Again, this is the first big signing under Dean Smith. I really like this move. I've heard a lot about how talented the kid is. The front three of Abada, Copetti, and Kerwin Vargas is pretty balanced and pretty strong. Look, Copetti missed a couple chances. Like Charlotte could have won against Vancouver. Copetti didn't put away a breakaway, but I think that he fits well with attacking wingers. They need more goal-scoring options in this attack. Brek Diakhe playing as a number 10. I'm assuming that that's where the next DP slot or U20 initiative slot is going to go. Diakhe is going to be able to play several positions. He's still going to be a key player, whether he starts all the time or not. Right now, I think he's doing fine, but Charlotte have the flexibility to continue adding, and I think that's what's most exciting about this team. The foundation is really strong. The deals for Urso and Diani were really cap-friendly from what I've been told, which helps a lot in these additions. Again, they still have room to add a senior DP, which would hit the cap at $650,000, but for right now, they're getting their first big deal across the line in Liel Abada. I know that they want to preserve some flexibility for the summer, so I'm not exactly sure what's going to come over the next 5 or 6 weeks before the transfer window closes, whether another significant signing will come or not. But this team has been super ambitious. Like I was saying the other day, they were after Albert Groenbeek. They were after Luciano Rodriguez. Rodriguez would be one of the most expensive transfers in league history. Groenbeek would have been at least $10 or $12 million. Like Abada being within the 6 to 10 million range is huge. Like I think it's a very exciting time for Charlotte. They have cohesiveness. They have a plan. They have everything else. Dean Smith is very quickly proving to be a very good managerial hire. Let's see if Abada can be what Kamil Jóźwiak wasn't, a DP level winger in this league. The fact that they're getting results while not really firing in the attack and while not really having a ton of high-end talent in the attack is really impressive. So again, I'm fully optimistic on Charlotte FC at the beginning of the season. We'll see where this goes. But again, Charlotte FC finalizing a deal to sign Liel Abada from Celtic on a young DP deal. Finally, we got some concrete Portland Timbers DP number 9 news. I know I've been talking about that there was another big target out there that the club have wanted, and now I've been able to report the Portland Timbers made a $15 million bid for Monterrey forward German Bertrame. This would be tied for the third most expensive transfer in MLS history if it does get done for $15 million. This would be an absolutely huge swing. This is what Portland were kind of teasing when they said top DP, expectations are high, everything else. Again, everything that has led to impatience from the fan base, rightfully so, now that we're 2 weeks into the regular season and a new DP isn't signed. They've been working on this for weeks, man. It's very complicated. Monterrey could still keep him. Maybe we'll learn more in the next 24 or 48 hours. I know Portland are pushing hard. Portland are hopeful. Portland are, again, it's a complicated deal. It's a difficult one. All of these are, particularly at this price point. But Monterrey have a ton of money, even whether he's always starting or not, which he's been still starting regularly, even as Brandon Vazquez has started to get a lot of minutes from Monterrey. He's, again, 25 years old. He can play through the center, or on the wing, which, again, is something that Portland really, really wanted with this DP so that they could have some flexibility for Phil Neville. But again, this is the top target. This is the guy that they're hoping to get done. If not, Cabecita Rodriguez, like I've said over the last few days, the last couple weeks, like that's still there if Berterame falls through. But they're kind of focused on Berterame. Again, I keep saying it, but I'm assuming that there's going to be some resolution in the next 24, 48, 72 hours, whatever. But again, I've been, wrong on this timeline in the past because Monterrey keep on dragging their feet and Monterrey keep on pushing back. And again, these are very complicated deals, very difficult. It's very important for Portland to get this deal right. I'm going to pull up his FB ref right now. And here are his numbers last year in Liga MX. Again, like as you see kind of the first forwards, first wingers, first midfielder, like he's played several different positions, which, again, the numbers look really good. Look at all that bright green. I think it'd be even better if Monterrey were just like, hey, you're our number 9, go play number 9, because there's such a giant in that league. There'd be so many more chances for him than him playing on the wing, but whatever. Still, versus forwards, still a non-penalty expected goals in the 72nd percentile, expected assists in the 92nd percentile. He works against the ball really hard, as evident by the 99th percentile in interceptions, 72nd in tackles, all this stuff. Like, this is the kind of player that would come in with huge expectations to be one of the best DPs in the league, and it'd be an in-prime player, getting him at the beginning of his so-called prime at 25 years old. One sad wrinkle is that Berterame, for Portland fans may remember, he broke his ankle at Providence Park last year in Leagues Cup. Clearly the turf, playing surface, whatever, isn't an issue for him because he's open to this move. I don't want to speak for him or his camp, but it seems like this is what he wants. There's been reports in Mexico that the deal may be up to him, whether or not Rayados want to keep him or not. They might give him the courtesy of doing him right. But hey, man, we'll see. This is all complicated. This is all fluid. Things change all the time. But German Berterame, this would be an awesome signing for Portland. Definitely be up to like the level that they've been teasing. And again, as I keep saying for weeks, we'll hopefully get some resolution soon. Again, I know as the fans are impatient, so is the entire organization in Portland trying to get this one over the line, this delicate deal over the line. Monterrey plays Sunday night. If you're watching this on Sunday afternoon, I'm very curious to see if he's going to be in the lineup or not. If he's in the lineup, that doesn't mean that he's not coming, because I know that they've been delaying, hoping to count on him tonight. But if he's not in the lineup, I think that would be some very, very positive news for the Portland Timbers. So I'm going to be kind of checking that as it comes out later. Some more breaking news on your Sunday. FC Cincinnati have agreed a deal to acquire DeAndre Yedlin from Inter Miami for $172,000 GAM. Yes, it is very specific. The easiest way to explain this is just kind of view this more as like a salary cap dump, because this frees up a ton of space for Miami in terms of new additions or flexibility, whatever. And Cincinnati have really, really wanted Yedlin, and they kind of targeted him, identified him, didn't know if they were going to be able to get it done under the cap. So shout out to Chris Albright, Kyle McCarthy, and Hunter Freeman for figuring out a way to structure this and get it done to get DeAndre Yedlin in and fill a very big hole at right wing back. It's a very great, very exciting ad for FC Cincinnati to add the 30-year-old U.S. national team veteran, MLS veteran, everything else. They think that his numbers and data are going to look much better in Cincy's system as a wingback than it did in Miami as a right back. And again, I think that he's been good, fine. Like for Miami, I think he was important for them during their Leagues Cup run. I think that he fits really well with this team, just like I thought Gregory did. So I am a bit surprised that Miami were more than open to letting him go without, holding out for a ton more. Plus the balance for Cincy is that Yedlin, again, a right back in nature, he loves to get forward, obviously, but their left wing back is Luca Orieno, who's a winger at heart. So there should be some really good balance there that Yedlin, that this should really, really free up Orieno to get forward as much as Barreal did last year. For me, like Yedlin's FB ref, like advanced stats, like I said, the data isn't as great as they might hope. So I'm not even going to pull it up because I think it's two completely different systems, because it is two completely different systems. I'm going to pull up Santiago Arias' stats from last year. This was Cincy's preferred right wing back. Look, I think Arias is better going forward than Yedlin, but I still think that this is a good template for what to expect from Yedlin. Like, touches in the attacking penalty area, 94th percentile. Shots, 92nd percentile. XG plus XA, 88th percentile. Progressive passes received, I think, is a big one because he's going to be able to get up the field in a back three. He can also play right center back if they want to put Yuya Kubo, who I think is the backup at every single position for this team, if they want to play Kubo at right wing back or somebody else, or figure it out from there. But look, DeAndre Yedlin fills the biggest need left for this team because it was Kubo and Powell slotted for this position. I would be shocked if he's not available to play in the Champions Cup game against Monterrey this week, which is great because Miami weren't involved in the last round, so he did not get cup tied. I think this is a really, really good addition for FC Cincinnati. As for Miami, the move opens a lot of flexibility. We'll see where they go just in general. But in the interim, Julian Gressel can play right back, even though, again, Tata Martino views him more as a central midfielder or a wing back in a back three. For this week specifically, I'm told Federico Redondo is overwhelmingly expected to be available to make his debut in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. So then Gressel would go to right back, Redondo into Gressel's starting spot in central midfield, and see how it looks from there. I know that they really like Franco Escobar. I'm told that there's still nothing new, but maybe there won't be more movement, more talks with Houston until this DeAndre Yedlin deal goes official, rather than just reported as is now. And look, like, it's done, it's happening, all that, but it's just not official, right? Like, so maybe Houston will get another call, but I was told as of this morning that there was nothing new. Again, I know Tata Martino obviously loves Franco Escobar. They work together in Atlanta United. At the end, they've been trying to trade for him for the last couple weeks. Houston, up until now, has had no interest in really losing Escobar, and I can't blame them, obviously. And now Escobar, I believe, is cup tied for CONCACAF Champions Cup, which would make that a little bit more complicated because of how much emphasis Miami are placing on the Champions Cup. Escobar, I don't think, would be able to play for them in this tournament because he's already featured for Houston in this tournament. But again, like, he's been somebody that Tata really wants. Maybe they'll go back to South America, who knows, but Miami have a lot of flexibility with the salary cap space opened up for Yedlin. He was $830,000 per MLSPA last year, so you take a senior max slot off the books plus whatever allocation money they were using to buy him down, and now they'll have a lot more flexibility. They're wheeling and dealing. They moved on from Gregory before cap compliance. Now Yedlin goes too. It's super interesting because, again, Gregory and Yedlin are two players that I thought fit really, really perfectly with Miami's nucleus and core. We'll see if they're able to get Franco Escobar. That'd be a wonderful trade. That'd be a wonderful addition. And we'll see what happens. Again, I think that they're short at the back now, that they're probably going to add at right back, but they definitely need to. Lastly, kind of a couple random nuggets here. Carlos Vela. I haven't had a hard and fast update. I've been working on it. There's been a lot of tight lips around this. A report came out in Mexico that suggested talks were off with San Jose. I've heard rumblings similar as well. I don't have enough sources to say that flat out that San Jose are done, but I'm telling you it is much more pessimistic than it was 48 hours ago for San Jose's chase of Carlos Vela. Who knows? We'll see. I do know that Friday, when these reports are coming out, this really helped stir more conversation with LAFC. Like I reported, there was talks and continued conversation with LAFC. I had heard on Friday Vela's camp was waiting for kind of air quote best and final offers, hoping to be ready to make a decision and get back in the game because the season is 2 weeks underway now and Vela is still technically unsigned. Again, it is super fluid. I wouldn't go as far to say that San Jose and Vela is completely dead or completely off because things change. People come back to the table. Look, San Jose lost 3-1 against AL Galaxy on Saturday night. That might help push them back. Okay, fine. Like, Vela, how much do you want? What do you want? Whatever. But again, this is all speculation from me. From one person that I've spoken to, they're acting as if that San Jose is definitely not as strong as an option as it was before. Who knows? We'll see. Again, San Jose had the inside track, could have made him a DP. LAFC don't want to do that. LAFC are wanting to keep him until he retires and hoping to take care of him in that way. But again, Vela would want to be a DP if a DP offers on the table. You can't blame him. Go get yours, brother. Like, I'm fully behind that. But if this San Jose doesn't materialize, then LAFC would oh my God, absolutely have the inside track of getting him. Again, I don't have any new information as I check my phone to make sure I didn't miss a text. I don't have a ton of new information here, so you just have to sit tight and keep it coming. But again, there was a report in Mexico that San Jose and Vela, those talks have kind of cooled, and I haven't heard anything that would refute that. So that's just kind of where I'll put it right now. One more note. Eric Ramsay, new Minnesota United coach. On Sunday morning, he was on the bench for Manchester United as an assistant against Manchester City. Manchester City beat United. Come on, Eric. Could have done Liverpool a favor here. Would have appreciated it, but whatever. Welcome to the United States. Ramsay is now done with his duties with Manchester United and is fully transitioning to Minnesota United. He and the club are hopeful that he'll be able to arrive by the weekend. But look, man, the visa process, it's very, very difficult to put out there and to know with certainty. So again, they're hopeful he'll get here by the weekend. Even if he gets here by the weekend, I'm not sure that he'll coach. Like, if Cameron Knowles is leading training all week, it'd be a little silly if, say, Eric Ramsay showed up, Friday night and was like, okay, cool, thanks for the help, man. Like, I'm going to go coach the team. So, again, if I had to guess, I'd probably say that Cameron Knowles coaches and Eric Ramsay doesn't make his debut until their next game. But again, all of this is fluid. Who knows? We'll see. Again, youngest head coach in MLS by a mile, 32 years old. Very exciting hire. I can't wait to see what he looks like. Like, Minnesota played very well against Columbus. Like, they took the first 25 minutes to Columbus, unlike what I can really remember, just because of how great they were in the playoffs, how great they were in week one. Columbus kind of came back and took control and were winning 1-0, but Minnesota fought back and tied it late. That's a great result. Getting a point against Columbus without Reynoso and Bongi and Robin Lode, and with an interim coach still. That's well done. Look, Minnesota might be better than we expected this year, and I can't wait to see what Eric Ramsay's spin on this team is going to be. All right, that'll do it for me today. Again, wasn't expecting coming with a video today, but then so 3 or 4 big scoops came out, and look, you gotta dive in, strike while the iron's hot, or whatever stupid cliche my dumb brain is gonna come up with. Again, this week we're gonna try MLS 5-a-side again. Hopefully that'll be out on Monday. Hopefully the FM sim of the 2024 season will be out early this week as well. Still got to work on that, but there's been, I'm about halfway through the season, and there's some funny FM virtual reality stuff around the 2024 MLS season, so that should be fun. At any rate, cheers, guys. Talk to you next time.